for inviting me to this panel. And it's become a habit now to be an impromptu, parachuted, last-minute intervention. It happened 2 minutes last time, but this time it was 1 hour. Thank you very much. So, first of all, I'm so happy to be here because the Ministry of Women and Child Development is the focal point for the UNCSW back in India. And due to various considerations, this year we were not able to organize a panel, but we're so happy to see such a interesting concept linking ideology to practice, theory to practice, a continuum from the grassroots to the highest level of policy advocacy, not only at the national level, but at the global level. And for us, from the feminist and the women's movement, so it's very exciting that the government and civil society meshed together into this beautiful weave of Khadi. Congratulations once again to the organizers, to the Permanent Mission of India, to all of you for having, this film is also so inspiring and short. So it's really good. So congratulations. Now I'd like to tell you a little bit about, why I'm here. I'm on the International Cooperative Alliance, which is one of the largest alliances of cooperatives. Over 1,000 cooperatives all over the world. And I became the first woman in 50 years to join the board of the oldest cooperative union in the world, the Raiffeisen Union. 50 years it took them to have a woman. So, but anyway, I mean, that was interesting. It was all European bankers, so it's exciting. Thank you so much. The Rashtriya Mahila Kosh, I have been working with them for the last 4 years, and I chair their outreach committee for the loaning aspect. It's the National Women's Credit Fund. It's one of the oldest credit funds in Asia, 30 years old. But it has its ups and downs, so you have very good offtake of loans, and then sometimes you have, how banks operate. So I'm not going to tell you, about the high offtakes and then the default and how we reinvest, etc., recapitalize, etc. So this fund actually was started in '92 with a lot of civil society energy. And it said that we must make micro loans, but it has to be 50 lakhs of rupees, 1 crore, 4 crores, and it has to go to organizations, cooperatives, even state governments, which, practice this whole self-help, women's credit, marketing, the backward and forward linkages, etc. So given that, now we have now also a new concept of the E-Mahila Heart, which is very interesting. This is the first time at the national level you have a marketing portal for women artisans, self-help groups. So we have about 6,000 products that we have identified on the e-portal and about 5,000 artisans, I think. And we are now going state by state to mobilize the state governments to bring in more products into the portal, because I think digitalization has become a way of life in many parts of India. Where I come from South India, I mean, my own organization that I represent, which is one of the largest in Asia, the Working Women's Forum, which is an iconic movement going on to say half a century now, has 600,000 women workers. We've given 300, 400 loans, equivalent to the Rashtriya Mahila Kosh. And all small loans are million loans. The repayment rate, of course, ours is very good, 99.7. I don't know what the government one is, but the government averages are mostly on the 50s to 60s to 70. So what did we do 40, 50 years ago, where these very small, groups of women, created this bank? So when you talk about SDGs and talk about gender equality, if you're not going to talk about the other 5, 7 SDGs, gender equality will not. So here we have in the Working Women's Forum and the Indian Cooperative Network for Women, we are self-sustainable. We don't have any donor money. And that, I think, is a very key thing, because resources are getting smaller. So therefore, I would commend people from the NGO sector to try to move into the cooperative sector. So we are not plush, but we are sustainable. We survive. We don't take money. So this is what Gandhi, if you look at Mahatma Gandhi, he talked about self-sustainability of the villages and slums. And this is something, these very poor women who are weavers, who work in 267 trades, hawkers, vendors, lace makers, you name it. But I'm away. They are running their bank of 300, 400 crores. They have a 99% repayment. They talk to prime ministers, they talk to presidents. They had Mrs. Clinton sit with them for an hour. So therefore, the ethos of what Mahatma Gandhi said is very much available. Whether you look at the Rashtriya Mahila Kosh groups, you look at the Working Women's Forum, ICNW, which is going to reach half a century. So therefore, poverty is there, but it is the poverty of not only economics, but here is the empowered woman to whom poverty is in the mind. They have created their own infrastructure, resilient infrastructure, banking infrastructure, healthcare, microfinance, capacity building. So therefore, I urge all of you to come visit us at the Rashtriya Mahila Kosh, not only for loans, but to look at our marketing portals. Maybe you don't need them, but your organizations may sometime look at it. We give the lowest interest, 6%. Nobody in the market is doing that. So therefore, I would say that this whole discussion is really what I see